Hello and welcome to Empowered by Michelle. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. Today I'm going to talk to you all who, maybe for the first time, or maybe you've been in the game for a while, the parents of college students. Yes, I sent my first child off to college. Goodness, why can't I remember? 22. Yep. Well, actually, she went in January of 23. That's when she started her college career. Go Blue. Shout out to all the people, U of M, University of Michigan. And I remember when we took her to her dorm, and that night, her and her sister, my baby girl, they are so close. They're only 2 years apart. They hugged each other, and I thought it was going to hit me. It didn't hit me till I was driving on the way home. Mamas, daddies, y'all gonna get through this. And I think we were having dinner, and Sarah worked the summer, and I remember saying, okay, let's make sure Sarah got some food. We can set some side up for some food. And then I realized I didn't have to do that because Sarah was away at school. So it hit me again. But it does get easier. You've prepared them, and it's their time to fly. So I definitely encourage you. And it's okay to be feeling some kind of way, because it's definitely, they go from having you be the center and knowing everything to they begin to have their own life without you. Now, not without you, I should say that, but they're taking the lead, and you transition more into an advisor's role. Now, my youngest, she went further, all the way down to North Carolina. And that was harder. And I remember when we took her to college, that saying goodbye. I saw her dad, he turned away because I knew he was crying. I was crying. But a funny thing happened. The next day I was supposed to get on the road. Her decor items kept falling down. So I had some more time with her. So I think I went to Home Depot, got her some Gorilla Glue or something to help keep her little decorations. So when we said see you later, because my mother always said, don't say goodbye, say see you later. It was happy. We was laughing, and it was a happier thing. So than the original. But having the empty nest, people say, oh, how does it feel? But when we took my daughter away, we were still grieving now, the loss of my dad. And one of the heartbreaking was, she said, he didn't get a chance to see me graduate from high school. My kids and my nephew call my dad Papa, because he passed in March and she graduated in June. So that was heartbreaking to hear, and letting her know that, I believe that he did see her graduate. Hello, had to free up some space. So where was I? Oh, the first thing you want to do is, and most schools offer this, is get on a payment plan. It definitely helps breaking up those tuition payments, and it also will buy you some time, because that way you don't have to pay everything all at once. You can pay it over the course of the year. Most schools may offer a 4 month, semester, because for both my daughters, one was on semester, they're both on semester systems. And a lot of times you can start in August or you can start in September. Hers was, I think one of them was starting in July, but that was just too early because, we were just getting over paying the past in the fall. So definitely get on the payment plan. Also, I would recommend joining any parent groups. I paid. I joined parents groups for my daughter's school, the one that goes to school up in Michigan, and I also joined parent groups for the one that attends in North Carolina. And that has been so helpful because the groups, one is in general for her class, her graduating class, and the other one was just full of moms. And they have their own events that they do around homecoming, so you can find some camaraderie, especially if this may be your first child going off to college, or maybe you didn't have the opportunity to go why I can't talk, y'all, go to college, and this is really, the whole process may be new for you. Or, like me, I did attend college, but I attend college at home. So I was a commuter student. And when I went away for grad school, but still it's definitely a different process if you're not familiar with it. So joining those groups it's just been great, because after a while I'm finding myself I'm at answering questions. Also, when you're looking at dorms, especially if you're cross country, there are some kids, they go to college and it's sight unseen unless they go to like new student orientation. That might be their first time going on campus if they haven't had an opportunity. So we were combing the YouTube videos, both myself and my daughter. We were looking at the YouTube videos, and we were looking at the dorms, and then also looking at apartments. My one daughter, she wasn't assigned a dorm, so we had to look at apartments, but just getting a lot of feedback. So it's just really important to stay connected, especially if you don't know anyone. Or maybe you did go off of college, but that was years ago. If you're part of Gen X, our experience was very, very different than our kids' experience now. So I would definitely do that. Let's see. What else did I want to speak to you about? Oh, make sure you fill out that form and it's called different things at different places, but basically it's a form where your because it's now an adult child, gives permission for you to have access to their financials, maybe even grades. Although I don't really look at the grades because I communicate with my daughters about that. But the financials, that's important. And you also want to stay on top of your students when it comes to their emails, because even though you might be an authorized user, they may get emails that you may not get. Or if you're not an authorized user, you may not get any of that information. So make sure they are checking things. And this is, for example, I was in one of my groups, and there was a change with the financial aid where the financial aid was pulled because they were reviewing some things. But I knew that was coming because it had happened to some other parents. And then I checked with my daughter. She didn't see it, but then she went back and she saw it. Another big issue is health insurance. Most universities require that your student has health insurance or they're going to get charged for it. Now, my older daughter, it was one and done. We showed them, we didn't have to show them every year that we have her under health insurance. My younger daughter, every single year, there is a line item saying $1,000, and that's how much it is for the semester for health insurance. So she has to go in and prove and upload her insurance card that I'm already covering. $1,000, come on now. You have to make sure. Go line by line with everything. Make sure that they're not charging for room and board if your student is off campus. You want to go down line by line because it is a big university. They've got thousands upon thousands students. Or even if it's not a big university, always check those line items going line by line. Let's see. I think those were the biggest things as far as the financial pieces. Okay, when you go take your student, this has always been the case every single year. Um, you're going to be bringing some stuff back, especially that first year, because one, it might not, they just might not have the room. Two, their roommate might have what you've already bought, and it's and doubling up, it just doesn't make sense. So you want to make sure that you be prepared that you're going to bring some stuff back. Now that can be challenging if they're flying there, and or how they're getting there, and you might not even have that challenge with them flying. Try not to overpack, but it's hard because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and then it's really good for uh to have that conversation at the end of the semester, talking to your student. Okay, did you really need this? Is this something that you needed? And then you have the conversation and don't. Now, another thing, a lot of people will come on not move-in day, but move-out day. When we were up at U of M, when I tell you people were tossing things that were in excellent condition because maybe they didn't have room in their vehicle, or they were flying across the country or to another country because that may be where they're from originally. A lot of people who like to thrift, or I hate the term dumpster dive, but a lot of people will go look at stands and things. I mean, when we were moving my older daughter out for a semester, I just remember seeing just chairs and desks and stools and stands and all kinds of stuff that people were. And there are people that they wait for move out day, and they look at things, get it all cleaned up. So just, hey, do with that information with what you will. One of the things you definitely want to have for your student is a mattress topper, because traditionally those dorm beds are pretty hard, and it's extra long. It's an extra long twin. So you want to make sure that you get your student that, because that's the one thing, not being able to have a good sleep, that's important. Now, as we're talking more about dorms, empower your students to speak up if there's something that's going on in the dorm, with the roommate. Now, my daughter, her first year, she had, pretty good roommate. Her second year roommate, they became besties. Now, they shared a suite with two other girls where they had their own dorm. And then it was like, I guess they used to call it a Jack and Jill bathroom, where the bathroom separated, and that's what it was. And there were some issues with cleanliness with the other people, the other people. And they actually had a little group chat, and they said, hey, knock, 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 this needs to be clean, something that, after you came from, I don't want to get like graphic, but having that communication. And if things get a little jiggy, a little crazy, empower your students to go to their RA, because that is what they're there for. Now, also, talking about dorms, if it's not like a roommate issue, but if it's like a dorm issue, when my daughter, her first dorm, the plaster was coming down. It was just like hanging. So, her dad, my ex-husband, and the young lady's stepdad, they were like talking, and they were talking to trying to find people, and then I was calling, and we ended up escalating it, going to like the head of housing, and they did come in. And then I think towards the end it was some issues with the plaster, and we were like, you want us, they said, you know what, when they came it kind of disrupted because they had to put plastic over everything. And we got a lot of cleaning supplies. Oh, we didn't even talk about that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But they said, we're just gonna ride it out until the end of the semester, which they did. And then her dorm last year was much, much better. And then depending on the school, you're going to have some dorms that are older, and there are going to be some issues coming with that. A lot of people bring in air purifiers. We had, I think it was called ZEP, and that just kind of removes the mold. And you want to bring things that's going to make sure your students comfortable, because there's a certain time where they don't turn on the heat, or they turn off the heat for the semester, especially if you're in the South. So you might want to, if it's okay, that they can bring like a little heater, or make sure they bring a fan or something to make them more comfortable. I was going to talk about something else that I completely forgot. Um, I can't think about it. Think I was talking about. I think I did talk about the actual physical building with it. What's going on with that. I talked about staying on top of that information. And I know what I'm going to talk to you about now. Typically, we arrive the day before the actual move-in day. That way, especially if you're going to drive, we've got a long drive to North Carolina, so we arrive the day before, and then typically move-in day, and then the day after that, I'm getting back on the road. Her dad, he's getting her back on the road. But as I am getting a little older, uh, I want to give myself some more time. Now, this is like that self care. I'm not trying to rush back. So I ended up taking that day. I do it over the weekend, take that Friday, take that Monday. And that way, if there's some last minute things, I don't have to rush back home to work and responsibilities. So if it's possible for you to do that, or there are some parents that, you might have the one parent that rides down with the student, the other parent might fly in, take the train, take the bus, or whatever. So it's important for you to do that, especially if it's a long drive. I think I am going to pick up some compression socks. I had some for my Bali trip, but they were so tiny. So I'm going to get some men's size, because you want to take care of yourself. And being on the road, you want to make sure you bring a lot of water. Now, there are going to be some things that it might just be better for you to get while you're down there. And that is where those groups come in to play. You can talk to other parents and ask them, okay, what's the best store? If there's a Kroger, if there's like other types of stores that you will need. Headboards. My daughter didn't have one. Nope, she did, but it really wasn't that great. So I think we are getting her one, but it's an apartment. So that's the thing. Sometimes you won't know what you need until you get there. So that's why I recommend, yeah, let's wait until we get there. Or if there's some things that you need to ship, because I don't know where you're coming from. So it really depends. Also, connecting with the roommate. This is going back to the roommate part. Have your student connect with the roommate prior to my daughter both times connected, but she already knew her second year roommate, because she was actually supposed to be her first year roommate, but something happened. They weren't able to change it, but they ended up being friends because they were in the same college. Of their majors were similar, so they had classes, so they ended up being roommates. And the hope was for them to continue, but my daughter didn't get housing. But that doesn't mean, they're still friends, but she was able to create community. And what I love is that she was able to create other communities. Encourage your student. And I know that first year can be really hard, but my prayer is that they will find their people. And that's the beauty of college. You will find your people. And to wrap this up, being the advisor, it's hard, especially for the first 18 years. It was you were their first call. I still want my children to know that I can still be their first call, but understanding that when they're coming to you, you may be coming for they may be coming for advice, or they may be coming for a listening ear, but trust what you've instilled in them. And I think the next video I may talk about, well, I got a couple more minutes. I can wrap this up. Making sure that they understand girl code, boy code. Um, we go somewhere, we leave somewhere together. You know, you can act crazy. No, you're not going to walk off with somebody that we don't know. No, we all going outside. We're all going to the restroom. You don't leave a friend behind. And I think that's very important, especially in these times. Never leave your drink in a, and I say drink, I mean they could be juice or whatever. If they're under 21, they shouldn't be drinking anyway. But making sure that they don't leave it unattended. They even have some covers, where people buy and they have the covers. But still, don't leave your drink unattended. Um, some people have Life 360 where they're able to connect with their children. Some people don't, but I think having the type of relationship with your child that no matter what is happening, I don't care even if you're caught up in something you have no business being caught up to, you can always call me. We'll talk about, responsibility and issues later, but make sure that you are the safe space for your student so that they feel that they can call you for anything at any time. Okay, I know you're wondering, what does this have to do with college advice for parents who are sending their kids out for the first time? Oh, it is. Okay, what I learned is when I'm traveling to move my daughter in, either one of them, you should probably not pack a suitcase. You should probably bring one of these. Ugh. Why is it so hard to open? Get it? Okay, hold on. Maybe if I can. All right, here we go. Making progress. Okay, feel like the Incredible Hulk. Why is this so difficult? Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Just a little slow and steady. Here we go. All right. A duffel bag. Because you never know what you might have to smush or the space. So this isn't sponsored. I just said, you know what? I don't have it. Oh, this thing. Oh. Watch my daughter gonna try to take this. This is a lot bigger than I thought, but the price was really good. It was under $20, or I think $20 with the shipping. But yeah, I said I needed a duffel bag, and I wanted something that could smush for space. But I have a strong feeling that she's going to see this and she's going to want it. And if she needs it, of course, I'm going to give it to her. And I will be bringing a suitcase. But this is something that I would definitely recommend. Maybe not as big when you are moving, because you never know what type of space you're going to need. So I just wish all the best to you all, parents. Take care.